somebody had used a belt to attach Barry and Honey's necks to this bar. That's what was holding them upright. And on top of that, they had been dead for a while. Rigor mortis had already set in and their bodies were cold to the touch. They believed that Barry had killed Honey, hit her in the face, dragged her body downstairs, tied her up, and then once she was dead or dying, he killed himself. Now, for a lot of people, especially the people who hadn't known Barry and Honey personally, that theory made enough sense to be believable, so a lot of people just accepted the police's theory. But Barry and Honey's children and their close friends, they did not accept this. For one, they knew that Barry just didn't have the strength to kill Honey. He was older and honestly not in great shape. Honey, on the other hand, she worked out regularly. She wasn't ripped like a bodybuilder or anything like that, but she definitely had decent muscle, and she was definitely strong enough that if Barry had attacked her, she would have been able to fight him off. However, the autopsy showed that the two of them had been strangled, and they had also likely died on the night of Wednesday, December 13th, meaning that their bodies had been sitting in that pool room for about 36 hours before they were discovered. Even more strange, the marks around their necks were so fine, so thin, that the medical examiner realized that they hadn't been strangled with the belts that were holding them up and attaching their bodies to that bar. It actually looked as though they had been strangled with a rope instead, and if not a rope, something very similar. The marks around their wrist also looked like they might have been from zip ties. However, the police didn't see any zip ties at the scene or anywhere in the home. Now, the autopsy never revealed what caused the injuries to Honey's face, and the medical examiner also couldn't tell whether their deaths were from a murder or a suicide. So, the police stuck with their original theory, that Barry had killed Honey and then killed himself. For an entire month, they kept saying that their original theory was right. They were still treating it as a murder-suicide. And in fact, that didn't change until January 26th, 2018. That's when the Toronto police held a press conference and announced that they now believed that Barry and Honey had died in a double homicide.